My name is Tomonori Nagano. I'm teaching Japanese here and a faculty mentor for the class. I'm happy that you're here. Today we have a special event. We have a guest all the way from Japan. When did you come?
A week ago?
A week ago, yeah. He usually works in Japan at the Temple University Japan campus. And he came here to talk about the opportunity for you to transfer to Temple University Japan after graduating from LaGuardia. I'm not sure. I don't want to, take too much out like thunder. It's like sounds like dreaming, but some people did it. Like the last 2 years, we have a few people who did transfer to Temple Japan, and I think he's going to talk about the budget issue. That's probably most people are concerned about. It's not really as bad as you think. It's actually even better for some of you than going to schools in New York City. So I think, I'm happy that you're here and hear about this opportunity. So, Ryan, do you want to? Yeah.
Please hold the rest of your applause until the end. Thank you. I know it might be hard. Hold it until the end of my presentation, please. Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Goulding. And as you can probably tell by looking at me, I am Japanese. Via Chicago. I am delighted to share with you that I live in Japan full time. Except for when I travel.
Where at?
I'll get to that. I appreciate your enthusiasm. And remember that people viewing online aren't going to be able to, get those interactions as much. But I definitely want to, I'll touch on that. In fact, I've got some great things to share with you guys about Temple University, Japan, TUJ. But before that, do you mind if I just share a couple of observations about living in Asia? Okay, living in Asia, for me, first time I ever set foot in Asia was a little under 3 years ago. My whole life, I'm an old man, so my whole life, America, a little bit of Europe, a little bit of South America. Of course, like most kids, I took Spanish in high school. Okay, so here I find myself in Tokyo, and I just have a couple of observations for you. First of all, I want to share with you that there's a big interest not only in Japan, but also in Korea right now, right? Korean culture. In fact, my wife is Korean. So it's been really nice to be in Japan and be close to her family in Korea. And there's a lot of Korean culture in Japan too. And it's really, really cool. I'm so old. I heard recently that there's the BTS group, you guys know? The BTS group just came to New York City not too long ago. Really famous band out of Korea. I'm so old. I thought BTS was like a digestive problem. I can't make it tonight. I got some BTS going. I feel like it might be dynamite. Oh, kidding. Yeah, and I do have 2 grown children, and I actually have asked for them to start calling me K-pop. Just because that's it.
Good reference.
So living in Japan is different, like you have, if someone asks you how tall you are in Japan, you don't say it the way we say it in America. I say I'm Yaku Hachiju Hachi. Centimeters, not feet, inches. Okay. America, somebody asks you, hey, how tall are you? The proper response is none of your damn business. Right? It's different cultures. I also, again, I just arrived in Japan for the first time a little over 2 years ago, and I'm learning the culture. I learned how to bow properly. It's important to bow properly. It's very important for me because that's how I get onto the train, because the door's right here. If I don't bow, it's a problem. In fact, there's one station in Tokyo, the Ginza line, the Ginza station, beautiful train station. And you get off the train, the ceilings, I swear, are right here in the entire station. So I have to bow to get off the train, and then I'm walking like this the whole time to the combini. But I can't complain because I love the combini. You guys, you know what combini is?
Yeah, convenience store.
Okay, I confess, I was talking to my wife last night, her morning in Japan. I was crying because I miss her, but more importantly, I miss the combini. It's been a week. It's been a week. Anyone here been in Japan before? Besides none of you have been in Japan yet? Oh my God. Okay, you guys. I promise you, I'm not making this up. I'm so jealous of you because you haven't been there yet. Yeah, but you're young. You have the rest of your life to live and travel, whatever you're going to do with your life. You have time. I didn't get there till I was an old man. I love it. I'm like, well, it's so late in life to be in Japan. I love living in Japan, even though my language skills are very basic, survival Japanese. I speak survival Japanese because I live there. But to be able to get in a taxi and tell them where I want to go, or to be able to buy basic needs at a convenience or grocery store and communicate, or to look at a menu in a restaurant and figure out what it is I'm going to eat because it's in Japanese characters. Those are the hard things, but it's so worth it to live in Japan. And I'll get into this a little bit later, but you guys, there's such a difference between living in Japan and being a tourist in Japan. Okay? If you're lucky enough, and I hope sooner than later you have the chance in life to be a tourist in Japan, because it's such a wonderful thing. You can plan your time and see amazing places, do amazing things. For students that live there for years, completely different experience. It's immersive. Did I hear there's like an anime thing happening soon? Like
Like in New York City, yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
okay, so the conventions, again, you're very lucky too to live in this area where conventions come here to this area. I talk to students around the country and they don't have access like that to some of the events. It's Japanese themed events that you have here. So that's and I want to compliment you and commend you for participating in a club like this. Most people in college don't participate in clubs. You know this, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't participate in clubs. So the fact that you showed up and you're part of a club that is into this, I think that's so cool. That's so cool. So Professor, I have a digital version of this brochure I'll share with you later. So everybody online, you can expect an email for this. Everybody else, if you didn't get one, please grab I think I'll be referring to that in the presentation. Flyer. And everybody at home, please go ahead and if you haven't started, start eating your bento box at home. If you haven't. Sorry to rub it in. Oh. So we're taking a minute to get set up here, just while we're waiting a moment for the next part. Would you guys just throw at me, like, what about Japan do you like? What is it you're into, Japanese culture?
Japanese music.
Music, J-pop, or other Japanese, traditional Japanese music. Oh, awesome. Japanese style music is unique. Anything else?
Actually doing a project right now for my world music class where we have to do like a presentation where we have to pick a country and compare to different styles of the same country, like those things again.
Very cool. Very cool to bring that into class, bring that into your class. Yes, sir.
Their value of respect.
Respect,
Right.
the respect culture.
That's what I think.
I can't get enough of it. I love it so much.
I'm leaving one of the. Really?
And again, generally speaking, there are always people who might go outside of that, but generally speaking, in Japan, in my experience, just the way people interact with each other in a very crowded city, very respectful, and even in a crowded spot like a train or an escalator or a train station, whatever, everyone's walking to the left. You know, they follow the rules.
And they might still give you that same respect no matter what, you know, that's what
Right. Thank you. Now, according to my son, who's an expert, there are specific shiny Pokemon that are available in Japan that are not available anywhere else. Okay, I don't know what that means, but I'm just passing that on. Pokemon, well, I don't know. I just know when you walk around a place called Harajuku, there's people dressed up like Pikachu walking around. The people are really into that stuff. And if you live or study in Japan, whatever your interest is, whether it's video games or anime or music or history or shrines or nature, there's just so much variety there to explore that it's amazing. And relatively, when you look at the map of the globe, the United States is a pretty large landmass, and then you put it up next to Japan. I don't know, but for me, I always, as a kid, thought, well, Japan must be so tiny, right? If you compare it to the United States, it's so tiny feeling. What I've learned is living there is that it's when you're on the ground there, there's a lot to see. There's a lot to explore. And last count, I'm not sure how off I am. I think there's 6,000 islands as part of Japan, more or less.
I read that.
6,000 islands. And, you know, Tokyo's on one of them, a bigger one. But again, the nature and beauty of Japan is incredible as well. So I'll get back to that. I just wanted to understand where you guys are at. And again, I just have to commend you for being a college student and then also being part of a club. That's really cool. College is, again, compared to high school, you have to show up, right? Or you're in trouble. College classes, you have to show up?
No.
You don't have the same requirement, right? You can skip if you want to. It makes it harder. But then when it comes to clubs, it's optional. You're into something, you have this shared interest in Japan. I just think it's so great. It's so great you have a sponsor faculty member who supports it and has the Japanese understanding. It's really special. So that's why I'm jealous. You guys have an opportunity. Again, whether or not you go to this school, I just want to invite you. Please come to Japan as soon as you can and experience it, even as a tourist. And then if you can stay longer, great. And then if you can come to school there for a few years on a student visa, it's amazing. Chances are you'll want to stay there the rest of your life. Maybe. I've met a lot of people my age or older who didn't plan to stay there their whole life and they're still there and love it. So it's a great option for people. So Temple University, anybody ever heard of Temple University in America? What city is it in?
Philadelphia.
Excellent. Philadelphia, Temple University is a world-class university. It's a public school in the state of Pennsylvania, very well respected. Over 100 majors, medical school, dental school, law school. There's a lot going on. Temple is great, very respected in the world. When I was growing up, Temple was widely known for having a really good basketball team too. They were in tournaments every year, and they're not as good these days, but that's how I knew them as a kid. Temple, really respected in many ways. So having a Temple degree in the job market is around the world good. I go to events all over the world. I was in Hong Kong last month for events, and I just had my Temple shirt on. People were like, "Oh, Temple, my brother went there," or like there are alumni everywhere. It's just a known brand, which is good if you have a Temple degree. Okay, I want to share some ideas and some things with you. See if I can make this work. It might have run out of battery or something. It works now. Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we have a campus in Philadelphia, and then we have our campus in Tokyo. Okay, and we also have a campus in Rome. Go figure, Rome if you want to. Now, the Rome campus, many of our students from America or Japan will do study abroad in Rome as well, if they have that opportunity. I'll talk a little bit more about study abroad in a minute. Study abroad, as you know or may have heard, is when you can take a semester of classes at a different place or a different country, but stay in your school. So I'm in my school, but I'm going to do study abroad here. So that's something students do all the time. We have many students who do study abroad coming to Japan, to Temple, and they'll stay for a year or so. That's an option for students. Okay, so remember I said Temple in Philadelphia has like 100 majors? We don't have as many in Japan. Sorry. Not sorry. I just went there, okay? We just have a few. They're strong. If one of them is tolerable for you, then I highly recommend the school. If you are dead set on a major that we don't have, don't come. Okay? Just like anything in life, if you can't be passionate about something, don't do it. When it comes to your career, you want to be passionate about what you do. So same thing about choosing a major. I will say one of our majors is computer science. You see on the screen, it says 3+1. What that means is that program specifically in Japan, you can only do 3 years in Japan. The 1 year you have to do back in Philadelphia. Okay. We have a system in Japan where students can do 3+1, and any of the majors they could do 1 year in America. Okay, you guys seem pretty bright, so I want to ask and see if you guys can guess what percentage of our students at Temple University, Japan are Japanese? Who wants to hazard and be brave and guess? Percentage-wise, out of 100%, how many are Japanese? Yes, sir.
Say 80%.
8%?
80%.
80%, okay. 40%. This woman is a genius. I'm not saying anything about you, sir. I apologize if she schooled you because she read the notes. Yeah, it's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, so here's the thing. Before I knew that, I was surprised because this is an American university. Everything is taught in English at this school. All the services are provided in English. So why did so many Japanese students want to go to Temple in Japan? Any ideas? Yes.
Study abroad here as well.
Yes, very good. In fact, the 3+1 program for computer science, well, our Japanese students can do that with any one of the programs. A lot of them, they still want to have an experience in America. So they'll do 3+1 and they'll spend a year in Philadelphia at that campus just to have the American experience. My American students or international students, they're not as concerned. They'd rather spend all 4 years in Japan, which I recommend, and just live it up. But yes, there's that interest in having the connection to an American university. American degrees are very portable around the world. Portable meaning valuable around the world. So think of it this way too. A young freshman coming out of high school in Japan, they are good at English, but not great at English. They want to learn more English. They want to get an American degree, and their parents don't want them to leave the country. Because for whatever reason, family reason, financial reason, the parents don't want them to leave the country, or they don't want to leave the country. Win-win. They can get the American degree without leaving the country. They'll improve their English skills because they're going to be in class with you. I repeat, you're in class. Half of your class is Japanese students. So even if you don't care to learn more Japanese, and you guys are in this club, so you're interested in culture. I've got a bunch of students at Temple that don't care about learning Japanese, and they don't have to. They just want to live in Japan. Totally fine, because everything's in English in the school. But they learn Japanese anyway. Why?
They're immersed in it.
You're in class with half of the class, and there's group work, there's interaction, and there's, hey, after class, what are you guys doing? Who's in the mood for some karaoke? Anybody? Well, who knows where the good karaokes are? The American? Our Japanese friend. They know where the deal, oh, who's in the mood for some ramen? Or for some yakitori, or whatever. The Americans make friends with the Japanese students really fast when you come over. And then the Japanese students love you because language exchange. Yeah, and again, they're interested in your culture just as much as you're interested in theirs. It's so cool. And just as we have great diversity at this campus, same in our campus in Tokyo. Great diversity, backgrounds, people from all over the world, of all backgrounds are in our program. So imagine. And this is really exciting, you guys. We have a degree where you can learn the names of all the military leaders. General studies. This thing was fun. Thank you. That was an attempt at comedy. I failed. No, don't be, I have to be the sorry one. General studies is just generally taking liberal arts degrees. It's not studying in military leaders. I misled you. I apologize.
No, because I was thinking that would be very controversial.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me show you our campus. You guys, if you come to Tokyo or when you come to Tokyo, even if you don't come to my school as a student, please look me up. I'll be happy to show you the campus. We're right in the middle of Tokyo. So come take a tour, come check it out. It's a great spot. We have, as you can see from this picture, we have 4 parking spots. Okay? 4. We got 2,000 students in 4 parking spots. Why? Nobody drives. Nobody drives in Tokyo. If you drive, you're insane. Because there's no place to park. And you don't care, you don't need to. They're great trains. Great job. Trains, bikes, walking. Rollerblading.
I heard they're a little pricey, no, Professor? And the trains.
The what?
The trains are a little pricey, are they?
The trains are pricey.
Yeah.
Well, some trains, some long distance trains can get pricey. They're called Shinkansen, the bullet trains. Think of bullet trains like a flight, like paying for a flight, because they go all the way across the country, and so you gotta save your money for that. Okay, just a couple more pictures of the campus. Imagine yourself, hey, I mean, this community college campus is a lot bigger than our campus, but bigger doesn't mean better. Right? You have everything you need. And we are actually, it's cool. We're on our campus is right next to a Japanese university. They're called Showa Women's University. Calm down, boys. Showa Women's University, right next to our university. And so we have a lot of interactive activities with them, different elective classes. It's awesome. And again, having interaction and Japanese language exchange friends is so much fun.
Be able to relax on the rooftop.
Okay. We have access to gym and swimming. Kind of like you have this club, we have tons of clubs. I think we have more club participation at our college, especially with the English speakers, because it's a little more of a community. We're surviving together in the foreign land kind of situation. Welcome. Okay. You guys can't read this very well from the back. Don't worry about it. I just want to show you, this is Tokyo. Tokyo is the largest city in the world, you guys. It's like 3 times as big as New York City. 3 times as many people. So it's huge. But because of the way everything's connected, it's easy to get across town. Our campus is over here, southwest side of town. You might have seen Tokyo Tower in the pictures and stuff. It's right over here. I live close to here. You might have seen cherry blossoms. Japan brings in cherry blossoms every year on a bunch of trucks. They put them on the tree. It is amazing. I'm kidding. They grow on the tree. It's not fake. It's amazing. The other great thing about living in Japan for a long period of time is you get all the seasons. If you vacation there, you only get a little part of one season. And if it's the middle of summer, it'll feel like hell. Okay?
Yeah,
But if you're there over the seasons, the spring is amazing. You got the cherry blossoms, the fall, I'm missing it now, is incredible in Japan. The weather is amazing. The winter is mild. In Tokyo winter is, I think I wore my jacket twice. And when it snowed, we're like, well, snow, it's gone. Other parts of Japan are very snowy and cold, and other parts are very hot. There's a wide range of climates in Japan, but I just want to tell you that one of the great thing about staying there for a while longer is you get the different seasons. You guys might have heard of this sidewalk, very famous sidewalk in Tokyo. It's called the Shibuya Scramble. Shibuya Scramble. A bunch of Americans went over there. The price of eggs was high here, so they were idiots. They thought there'd be scrambled eggs. I apologize. You looked a little bored, so I thought I'd throw that one at you.
Wait, is that a real?
No. You'll be able to see.
Shibuya Scramble is awesome. There's a lot of tourists there. There's a bunch of teenagers taking selfie live streaming there. Okay, it's a lot of tourism, but I keep going back there for the restaurants. Great restaurants in the area, great food, a lot of entertainment. They have the world's largest tower records there. Still in business, really cool. And my favorite furniture store is in Shibuya. Nitori, you know? Nitori is awesome. It's like IKEA, but better. Anyway, and this is only two train stops away from the campus. So if our students, a lot of times after class, let us go hang out, Shibuya, eat, go karaoke, hang out.
How long drive?
Shop.
How long did it take to get there?
You there? Like 5 minutes? 5 minutes on the train? Okay, so for our transfer students, if you transfer in from a community college, you don't necessarily have to live in the dorms. We make all of our true freshmen live in the dorms, unless they have a waiver or a family member or something. We make them live in the dorms at the start because it's a foreign country and we're just getting them set up for success. Because in our dorms, it's all TUJ students. And so it's an environment where you can feel good. And it's a 30-minute train ride from the dorm into the campus. It's not next to the campus, so everyone goes to class. If you guys transfer in, it's an option, okay? But I recommend it. I mean, especially first time in Japan. Getting housing in Japan is not so easy for foreigners. You just need a little more. You need a little more help. Our university does offer agencies that help with that. So again, I will tell you this. Spoiler, prices are cheaper in Japan than the rent prices are way cheaper. It will surprise you. Okay, there's going to be a quiz on this. I'm going to ask you guys to memorize the top 10 train stations in Tokyo. Okay, you need to memorize this to get around Tokyo. It's not a QR code. That is the train map. Okay.
Wow.
It's easy.
So that's what you're saying.
I read an article that metro system was designed by algae.
Well,
Exactly, I was saying biology, yeah.
well, put it this way. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you're fine. Because all you do is you put in Google Maps where you're going, and it tells you exactly which entrance. I mean, kind of like here in the city. You put it in, and it tells you where to get on, where to get off. The other thing, again, you guys haven't been to Japan yet. You'll see the comfort level of traveling on trains and subways. It's relaxing. It's relaxing and comfortable. You miss a train, no big deal. 5 minutes, there's another one. They're coming every 5 minutes. And then you transfer, you're going the wrong direction accidentally, just get off the next one and flip around and go the other way. But usually you can follow the map and be fine. The cleanliness of the trains is also reflected across the cities. Okay? There's not garbage everywhere. In fact, you know, in Japan, no garbage cans. No garbage cans. You got a candy wrapper? Stick it in your pocket, go home, and then dispose of it there.
Can't spit in the floor.
There is a little hack for you. The combinis have little garbage cans. So if you get a candy bar at a combini, they have garbage cans. And sometimes I'll go to a combini to throw something away. It's okay, but it's so nice. Even this is kind of wild. Even the restrooms, the public restrooms in Japan are amazing. They're generally more clean, well kept. Like the bathroom stalls are private, sealing the floor, privacy, and there's no paper towels. So we're used to, you know, grabbing paper towels and they're usually all over the floor. Well, in Japan, you do air dry. Or you carry like a towel and you just a different thing. It's just clean, organized, and by the way, it's safe. Generally very safe in Japan. As you're walking around, going around the city, you still need to use your head. Don't put yourself in dangerous situations, just like always. But Japan in general is very safe to travel and to be around, even into the night for men and women. And there's just about every corner in the city, there's a police station. They're like these little cube, what are they? I'm sorry, what's the word for police in Japanese?
Koba?
The Koba stations. They're everywhere and there's always police there, but like it's just kind of like I don't know, I just feel safe there. I just know if I needed something, they're there. It's very common. If someone ever dropped their wallet or purse, in general, there's lost and founds everywhere. People turn it in to lost and found. It's very uncommon for something not to be turned in. Try not to lose stuff. Even if you had cash in your wallet or purse, most likely it will still be there if you get it later at lost and found. It's culture. One other note about trains I want to share with you is that if you're doing the trains, you don't pay with cash. You load money with like a plastic cash card of a Passmo or a Suica, and you use that to scan in and out of the trains. It's really good. Okay, really cool. Homestay is an option. If you want to, you can stay with a Japanese family. Only do that. Listen, only do that if you want 2 delicious meals a day cooked by a Japanese mom and a family that will love you for the rest of your life. That would be the only reason I would recommend you do homestay. It's like an opportunity to have cultural.
Second family.
They might even get an ice cream cone. Okay. You come to temple, you're an owl. Okay? Deal with it. It's okay. And don't you kind of think he looks like a Pokemon? I think it was destiny that we are in Japan. Look, he has I'm not an expert on Pokemon, but I think he looks like a Pokemon. Okay, so nuts and bolts. I'm going to share a couple things. If you're thinking, well, I don't know if I could or would want to get my bachelor's degree in Japan. A couple thoughts to share with you guys. Again, this is an American degree, and transfer credits, college credits are transferable. So before you ever apply, if you want to, you can talk to me or email. We can figure out if it makes sense for you. But all the time, we're getting transfer students, and then once you're admitted, the university will give you a printout. But also on our website, there is a transferability tool on there right now. You can go on there and plug it in. And if you have at least 30 credits of college credit, whenever you get to 30 plus, you don't even need to put in your high school transcript on an application. So if you're over 30, then no high school transcript is required. The things we look at for admissions at Temple are just merit, your grades, and you have to write a personal essay, and you have to pay the application fee. 10,000 yen lying around. You got 10,000 yen?
How much is
How much is that?
$60.
Like $60.
Yeah.
Hey, I like saying things like I make $1 million to my friends and family. But it's not as much. Yen is much more abundant than dollars. But yeah. But even before you pay the application fee, if you're really interested, talk to me and I'll kind of guide you and make sure everything looks good. Should be possibly admissible. We don't take just anybody, but we don't require SAT scores or ACT scores like in high school. And we look at merit. And then obviously, I mean, for you guys, if you were applying at TUJ, you would put that you're part of this club, for example. Like I'm part of this club. And that would be a positive thing when the admissions committee looks for that. Jumping is optional, okay? Just watch where you land. Yeah, it's, again, such an international environment in Tokyo. Tokyo is, I mean, all of the world embassies and consulates are in Tokyo. I live right down the street from the Russian embassy, right down the street from the Chinese embassy, a little further down is the American embassy, and they're like all nationalities are in Italy. It's just really cool. And then our students are from all over the world, but the one thing you have in common is everyone's getting their American degree at Temple in English. It's very cool. Okay, so quick blurb here. It's just a quote from a student, but I want to highlight something she says. She says, easiest financial option for me. Okay. Now, for me, I don't want to, raise your hand, but just think or just make eye contact with me if you're broke. Don't raise your hand. But I got the eye contact. I mean, for me, the definition of being a college student is being broke. Like, I don't know anything else different. I mean, being broke is no fun. And when I was in college, I was broke too. And I remember being in college and people saying, well, hey, we have this great study abroad option. You can go to Europe. You can go for a semester. That would be so great. It's $5,000. And I said, I'm broke. Ask your parents. They're broke too. Study abroad, like I said earlier, study abroad is a great option. A lot of students do study abroad. And for those students that are blessed with money for college or their parent, or they're in a situation where they can afford that, we won't judge them, okay? And they're very appreciative and they do it, they pay for it. Consider the fact that maybe you could do college while being broke, but not making it so bad that you're in a lot of trouble later. I go to these college fairs, you guys, they have all these tables set up, every college. I'll be at college fairs, there are 200 colleges there. It's overwhelming. And everybody has their little poster and like, we're number one, we're the best at this, we're the number one college town of that, we're the best scholarships. Everybody has, it's like, I feel like they're fishing for students, honestly. I don't think anyone's being deceptive or lying, but every college wants students, right? It's a business, kind of. Or students are the lifeblood of every college. And so we want to highlight the good things about us, okay? So I'm doing that with TUJ, but I want to tell you guys, to me, one of the best things about TUJ is how affordable it is, even if you're broke. We got great professors from all over the world. Okay, everybody, please sit down. Thank you. Stay seated. Hold your applause. Come on in. Okay. You guys, the tuition at TUJ is really, really good value. I'm not going to call it cheap because cheap sounds cheap. This is a Temple degree in Japan, and it's a really appealing low tuition. If you compare it to state schools, I mean, the regular out of state for a state school average is like $28,000 a year, right? Community colleges always have a lower tuition than regular four-year colleges, right? Then you go look at regular four-year colleges, There's a whole wide variety of tuition in-state, out-of-state, etc. I mean, I represent Temple University, right? Fantastic university. Well, the tuition levels for Temple University in Pennsylvania are different than Japan. And spoiler, there are more if you go to Philly. Japan is a lower tuition. Even though, don't be scared, it's 1 million yen, 1.67 million yen a year is around 11,000 USD per year tuition. You have a question?
I don't know, what's the most, I have a good amount of friends who go to Temple in Philly, and one of my friends actually went to Japan first semester. And so he was telling me that the semester he spent in Japan in Temple was a lot better experience, but it's a lot easier to do. But for example, where he wants to more time, it was easier for him to study. It's easier for him to like enjoy what he's doing, well, because he doesn't have to worry so much about the other stuff.
I swear I didn't pay this guy. I've never met him before. I swear this is not a setup. Thank you for sharing that. The friend who said he had the experience at Philadelphia and then he had the experience in Japan and it was a positive experience. And I don't know, like, I think for me, again, because before I lived there, I never understood this. Before I lived there, I didn't understand how much less stress there is when you don't drive. There's something that simple, not having to drive anywhere and have good public transportation just reduces your stress. And many other things. And back to the price, if you look at the tuition cost, so transferring any credits, if you transfer credits in, then that means, obviously, you're not having to take that class or pay tuition for that class. When you choose a major, any classes that you have to take are remaining, you can just do the math and say, this is going to cost me X. Also, since this is an American university, you can apply for and qualify for Pell Grants or FAFSA federal loans if you want to. So we have support there. The other thing we have support in, and it's not easy to get a student visa in Japan. There are several steps to get a visa to be living in. You have permission from the Japanese government to live in Japan for any period of time. There's a lot of paperwork for that. We'll help you with that. If you apply and are admitted to Temple in Japan, we'll help you with that process to get your student visa in place before you ever set foot in the country. I want to tell you, and again, many students think, well, hey, I want to go travel to Japan for a few weeks before I make my decision. I would invite you, of course, do that. Come on out anytime. But if you want to save on airline ticket money and have more money for Pokemon or whatever, I'm sorry, I keep saying Pokemon, more money for ramen, why not enroll and set foot in the country when you're about to start class? Because you're going to be there for 4 years. You can leave and travel while you're a student there, but you'll be able to do everything. And just with us, with our new student success committees and everyone to help you, we have many students who arrive in Japan for the first time and start classes the next week. So we do it all the time, and we can help you with that if that's something that pans out for you.
I just want to give some comparison. Like CUNY in-state tuition at 4-year institutions about $3,000. So per year it's going to be $6,000. So it's not as cheap as CUNY option, but it's far more affordable than other private institutions. If you go NYU, for example, their tuition is $30,000 per year.
Thank you for clarifying. And you have to, again, you have to look at all of your options, see what's going to be best for you if you want to have that experience. Because then the other factor you have to think about paying for school or going to Japan is housing. How am I going to pay for where I live, for food, travel, and just having a plan there. You don't want to just walk in without a plan there. Students on student visas, you can get jobs in Japan. You can work up to, I think, 24 hours a week, part-time. We have jobs on campus, and then there are jobs in the community. Students get jobs at restaurants or retail or whatever, just like anywhere else.
Teaching English is a skill. Major skill set in Japan. If you speak English, you already qualified to be an English teacher. And some
Oh,
people
yeah.
pay a lot.
Being an English speaker.
Yeah, I heard tutoring, a lot of people pay for tutors, personal tutoring, they
Oh,
pay
yes.
a lot.
You can make a
Much
question.
paid,
Yes.
yeah, pretty nice.
Lots of money.
One of the things I like to do in Japan, I like to tell people that I'm fluent in English. It helps my self-esteem. They love it. It makes me feel good about myself, because it's a big deal. You say that in New York, we're like, okay, whatever. But being fluent in English in Japan, thank you for saying that. It's very, very helpful. In fact, a lot of our graduates out of Temple will go in and they'll teach English at school levels all over the country, and they'll have job offers coming out of college to stay in Japan teaching English. And yeah, it's a legitimate career option, whether part-time or full-time in Japan, is teaching English. Also, we have scholarships available. And the Diamond Scholarship, for example, like even with the price, what it is with no scholarship, if you get a scholarship, that just makes it a lot cheaper. And you just want to check the deadlines and make sure you're in by the deadline every year.
It's fast.
We just passed the deadline for the fall. Awkward. There's a couple different flavors of scholarships. Oh, I don't want to brag, but I want to brag. Everyone who says they don't want to brag is lying, right? That means they want to brag. I want to brag. I live very close to Tokyo Tower, okay? Have you guys ever seen that meme where the guy's like in the dark, but then there's a bright light and it's the light on his face like this? He's like this. It's a meme, I think. The kid said it to me. That's me when I forget to close my curtain. Because I live right here. I live in this building, for those online, next to the Tokyo Tower. It's awesome, but it's very bright at night. And Tokyo Tower, they change their lights every Monday. It's a different color. Blue, yellow, green, whatever. All around the holiday season in December, they turn it into a Christmas tree. Again, the tourists don't get to see this stuff. Only if you live there year round, you get to see exciting things like that. And Tokyo Tower Tokyo is not flat, it's hilly. Something else that surprised me is Tokyo Tower is built on a hill. The hill, and then they built a huge tower on top. I don't know what they were thinking. Okay. Does anybody want a job after getting their education? Okay, keep your hands down. Okay, so the biggest decision our American graduates have to make at the end is, do I want to stay in Japan or not? It might be a hard decision because like me, you're going to fall in love with Japan. And then the other part is we have companies that love our graduates in Japan. The Japanese companies are on our campus all the time, and we do internship programs. So the internship program in Japan is a whole semester. It's not just summer, it's whole semester. So if you do business major in TUJ, that last year, you'd have an internship like the whole semester before you graduate at one of these companies on site. So it's a great way to make relationships and get job offers. And then you got that job offer in your hand, you're like, do I stay in Japan or do I go back to America? Do I want to go to law school? Do I want to go to graduate school somewhere else? You got all your options. Or do I want to get a job right now somewhere else? It's kind of nice to have those kinds of options, right? And a degree does not guarantee a job. We all know this, right? We all know people who have good jobs with no degrees, right? Rich people, like, hey, they never had a degree. They got all the money. Well, part of making money and having success is having a network and meeting people and being positive and being great at what you do. But also, getting a degree will create balance and create knowledge, a foundation for you to be successful because of how you interact with people. And having an international experience where you are in Japan for 2 to 4 years is unbelievably amazing.
So there is a question from online. Do you have any career information for art major?
Art majors. Career information for art majors, thank you for the question online, it's a little more cloudy because art is more subjective. So no guarantees of anything. Yeah, business is a little more cut and dry, right? Accounting, finance. Art, we have a strong art major, so art is your interest. I highly recommend you look at it. Look on our website, look at the courses. Our whole second floor of our building is art classes and art labs. And so they're doing digital and they're doing actual sculpting and drawing and painting, whatever is happening. It's amazing. But I do know that many of our artist graduates are getting into the popular industry in Japan, anime and manga. Is that right? Where that's obviously a lot of production of that's happening in Japan. And there's great value in art skills and translation skills in both of those fields. I have a friend who for many years did translation of manga from Japanese to English. It's because he had that language skill, right? And I will make a comment about language skills too. Language skills, you guys have a little bit of Japanese language skill, right? A little foundation. Well, whatever you have is great. If you come to study at TUJ, it's all in English, but we have great Japanese language courses and electives and major. So excellent Japanese language skills are available in addition to what you learn from your friends when you're hanging out. You can improve your Japanese language skills. If you want to work in Japan longer, I highly recommend you improve your Japanese language skills through courses. Yes.
Question, do you have any, courses for music majors?
Courses for music majors, thank you for asking. We may have an elective course or two, I don't know, but there's not a major. So I think if you want to major or minor in music, this would not be the school to choose. If you want to have music as a hobby or a passion outside of school, you could become part of a club or something or be involved in the community, but not as part of the curriculum. Okay, thank you for asking.
Are there any, you mentioned about Japanese language, are there any besides Japanese language, like sign language, for example, would they have that? Or sure?
I don't think so. Question about other languages. I don't think there's a focus on other languages at all. I'm not 100% sure, so, but let me confirm, but I don't think we do. It's Japanese language, because we're there in Tokyo. By the way, we're just starting a campus this next fall in Kyoto, in addition to Tokyo. It's a different city. It's about a 2-hour Shinkansen ride away, bullet train. Okay. Have you guys seen the movie Bullet Train? Okay, that's my life. Okay, that's just like I'm kidding. It is not like that, you guys. It is not like the movie. It's peaceful. It's not violent.
Oh, there was a question about the career too. One of the audience wants to ask, is there an internship for multimedia major such as graphic design or motion graphics?
Yes. Yes. So internship for graphic design, multimedia art, or computer science. Now the computer science internship, because that's 3+1 program, it might be in Philadelphia. But for the art, you can plan on internship for whatever major you do, and art is available at the campus. And by the way, as you might expect, there's a lot of gamers at our campus. We have a video game certificate that students do. You can get an actual certificate in video games.
That's good.
There's esports. You guys know what esports is?
No.
I have no idea, but we got that too, okay?
Yes.
That's video games, competitive league stuff, and we're all over that. In fact, I actually made friends with the Japanese CEO. He's over all of Asia for a video game company called Roblox. You know it?
Yes.
You know Roblox? Oh, yeah.
You know the owner? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know the president of Roblox. That's right. I've never played it, but I know the guy. But again, obviously the video game industry is huge worldwide, but a lot going on in Japan. So if you're into that, interesting stuff. Okay, in interest of time, I'm going to conclude. You guys have been a great audience. I just want to share a short video to show you a little more about the campus. So please watch the video. Applying is easy. You can apply online. So if you have any questions about that, you can let me know from the handout. Let's see if we can make this video happen.
And then lots of
Temple University Japan campus is your higher education for a 100% English-speaking campus, 100% American degree, and 100% Tokyo. Welcome to TUJ.
TUJ is an incredible place with students from around the world coming together in a dynamic environment here in Tokyo to study in English, to pursue an American degree, to find a way to springboard to a wonderful career that involves things that are global and international as well.
TUJ's campus is located in the heart of Tokyo, while its sister campus is located in Rome, Italy. Our parent main campus is located in Philadelphia. TUJ students are welcome to enroll in a truly international experience through our Fly to Philly program.
My favorite part of my TUJ experience is everybody have like a unique background, and then get to know those people who grew up in a different environment was interesting for me, and I think that kind of helps me to broaden my perspective as well.
Everything is American college system and credits and degrees. So students, while they are in Japan and Tokyo, they have this totally American style higher education here, which is a very rare thing that you can get.
TUJ offers a lot of cultural excursions. They do a lot of trips, and I think that's one of the ways that people can really look forward to enjoying Japan for all it is.
Come be a part of the oldest and largest American university in Japan, where you can create experiences and friendships that will last a lifetime. Be bold, spread your wings, and take flight. Your future starts at TUJ.